Senior Research Fellow at Oxford University's Pembroke College, joins us from Geneva. Elisabeth, so this comes at the last minute, and it couldn't be more important.
That's right. We were all waiting with bated breath to see if this truce would be renewed. And, you know, it's so important. It is worth reflecting just for a minute on what this has already achieved. As your correspondent said, it's been incredibly important in dropping the number of casualties in Yemen. It has largely held, and that was already a surprise because previous ceasefires in 2016 and 2018 didn't hold as long. And of course, we need more flights coming in, but it's absolutely fantastic that commercial flights have already started up and that fuel ships have been coming in. All right, there is still the problem of Taiz. This huge city in Yemen's southwest is still under siege. That needs to be addressed. But I think it's also worth mentioning one element that occurred alongside this truce, just shortly after the truce was agreed, and that is the institution of a new presidential council in Yemen. I think that's been key because this new council, an 8-man council, has really been focused on trying to change the trajectory of Yemen. And it was significant that the old warmongers were removed from leadership positions in order for this council to come in. So there's everything to play for now. We really need this truce to be extended so that we can build on what's already occurred.
Yeah, and hopefully leading to a total cessation of hostilities. But there are still major differences. Explore those very briefly for us, if you would, and how they might be resolved.
The major difference in terms of what was actually agreed at the time of the truce is, of course, opening the roads around this city under siege in the southwest, this city of Taiz. But of course, there are many other massive differences that lie between the Houthis, the Ansar Allah group, and the coalition, which in itself is an amalgamation of lots of different opinions and spectrums. Now, as stated, I think that the new presidential council will go a long way to try to create a united opposition on the coalition side to the Houthis. But it's going to take a lot of time to try to turn this window of opportunity into something that approaches an inclusive political process that might then stand a chance of leading to sustainable peace. That was the most important reason for why the truce needed to be renewed, to give that breathing space, to start to create the space for a political process.
And if peace is to come, one wonders then, what kind of shape it will have.
I think that peace will probably take the shape of dividing spheres of influence in Yemen. Now, I don't mean necessarily dividing it into a north and a south, but dividing it into areas where different groups are able to have a say in the way in which their regions are led and controlled. And that's why it takes such a long time, because if Yemenis are going to bring peace to the whole of Yemen, then it can't just be a council of 8 men and some elites that sit either in Sana'a or in Aden. It's got to involve the whole country. But I think it's just worth saying that whatever happens in the long term, in the short term, this is an incredibly important reprieve for Yemen. You know, we're in a war now that's entered its 8th year with 400,000 people dead, if you include those by indirect causes like disease and starvation. There are about 4 million internally displaced people. And if we didn't take these baby steps towards peace, like renewing a 2-month truce, then we would never get there. This is an absolutely essential step, what happened today, if the horror of this man-made catastrophe is to end and, if young people are to be given back any kind of future.
On the path, perhaps, to full-scale peace. Elisabeth Kendall, thank you very much.
We hope.